Welcome to our new video. Today we talk about the rise, peak, decline, and future of the MCU, a look at Marvel Studios' cultural phenomenon. We begin with the genesis, the story of how Marvel went from bankruptcy to a $30 billion empire. The legacy began in 1939, culminating in Marvel Comics in 1961. The Marvel Age started with Fantastic Four #1, featuring relatable heroes like Spider-Man and the Hulk in real cities. The comic book crash of the mid-90s forced Marvel into Chapter 11 bankruptcy. To survive, they sold core character rights to Sony and Fox. This led to Avi Arad's vision to create Marvel Studios to produce, not just license, their films. Before 2008, successful superhero films like X-Men, Spider-Man, and The Dark Knight were isolated hits. With their A-list characters gone, Marvel Studios had to rely on B-list heroes like Iron Man and Thor. Iron Man, 2008, was a make-or-break moment. If it failed, Marvel would lose the rights to all remaining characters. It succeeded, grossing $585 million and becoming a critical darling, paving the way for the MCU. Robert Downey Jr.'s casting was perfect. His real-life story mirrored Tony Stark's journey from arrogance to heroism. The final, improvised line, "I am Iron Man," broke the secret identity trope and set a bold tone. The 30-second post-credit scene of Nick Fury discussing the, quote, Avenger initiative birthed the post-credit culture and established the foundation for a long-form cinematic universe. The successful start led to Phase 1, building the foundation. The Incredible Hulk established the monster side of the universe. Thor introduced cosmic elements and the magic versus science debate. Captain America, the first Avenger, provided the moral heart to Tony Stark's brain. The Avengers, 2012, made the impossible real. It proved audiences would follow characters across franchises, grossing $1.5 billion and defining the MCU's humor plus action formula. A look at Phase 1 by the numbers shows the journey from Iron Man's successful launch to the Avengers' billion-dollar payoff. Next, we explore the recipe, the core reasons why the MCU became a global juggernaut. The key ingredient was interconnected storytelling. Kevin Feige treated each movie like a comic book issue and the Avengers films as, quote, crossover events. This structure fostered fear of missing out, or FOMO. Another crucial element was prioritizing character arcs over spectacle. The Tony arc moved from a selfish arms dealer to a hero. The Steve arc went from a poster boy to a man who questioned authority. One of the MCU's core strengths was expert casting. Director Sarah Finn focused on finding actors who truly became the characters, such as Chris Evans as Captain America and Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. Marketing and fan culture amplified the success. Marvel's Comic-Con Hall H events became global media spectacles. The theory economy generated massive, free word-of-mouth marketing as fans analyzed trailers for months. Next, we delve into the Infinity Saga. Was it truly the greatest story ever told in cinema? The MCU avoided the typical villain problem by teasing Thanos, the Mad Titan, for 7 years. His twisted, understandable logic made him both terrifying and fascinating, positioning him as the protagonist of Infinity War. The entire saga revolved around the 6 Infinity Stones: space, reality, power, mind, time, and soul, culminating in Thanos' quest to gather them all. Guardians of the Galaxy proved the MCU brand was bigger than character recognition. It featured a talking raccoon and a tree, established the cosmic scale, and revolutionized marketing with its iconic soundtrack. Captain America: Civil War marked a breaking point. The conflict was ideological, pitting security against freedom, with Zemo merely a catalyst. The airport battle remains a celebrated action sequence. The unprecedented deal with Sony allowed Spider-Man to join the Avengers, while Sony retained the rights. Tom Holland's debut in Civil War was an instant global trending topic. Black Panther became a global phenomenon, grossing $1.3 billion and receiving an Oscar nomination for Best Picture. It served as a cultural milestone for representation and Afrofuturism. Infinity War delivered an impossible ending, where the heroes lost. The snap, which turned half of all life to dust, was a testament to the audience's profound emotional investment. Avengers Endgame was a 3-hour epic and a celebration of 21 prior films. It briefly became the highest-grossing film of all time, driven by its peak cinematic moment, the portal scene. The deaths of Iron Man and Black Widow and Captain America's retirement brought a perfect closure to the 11-year Infinity Saga, highlighted by Tony Stark's final message, "I love you 3000." This period of the MCU, defined by massive box office success and cultural impact, represents its definitive peak. The merchandising empire created a billion-dollar revenue stream, independent of the box office. Theme parks and cultural language further solidified Marvel's dominance. The MCU fundamentally changed cinema by encouraging studios to chase only tentpole franchises, giving rise to the universe approach, and using its content to drive streaming dominance via Disney+. Now we move to the aftermath and the challenges of post-Endgame life. With Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans gone, the MCU lost its emotional anchors. Newer characters struggled to fill the void, and there was no central team to rally around for several years. The pressure to fuel Disney Plus led to an explosion of shows, over 10 series in 3 years. This quantity over quality approach resulted in viewer fatigue, where audiences felt forced to watch everything to understand the next movie. The increased output also strained VFX houses, leading to inconsistent and often criticized visual quality in films like Quantumania and Thor: Love and Thunder. The Marvel magic began to feel mechanical. The multiverse introduced infinity stakes, lessening the impact of death and conflict since endless character versions exist. While successful in Loki, it confused general audiences in later films. Comparing successes and failures reveals a highly inconsistent period following the peak of the Infinity Saga. In 2024, Deadpool and Wolverine, with its R-rated energy and Fox-era nostalgia, became a massive success. It proved that fans still care, but they demand both quality and personality from the content. Superhero fatigue is real. The must-watch factor has diluted, and audiences now skip films that don't feel essential. The new main villain, Kang, also suffered from weak writing and behind-the-scenes controversies, stalling momentum. Despite the recent decline, the MCU is already planning its path forward, heading toward 2027. The Fantastic Four movie in 2025 aims to reset the MCU's style, bringing Marvel's first family into a new retro-futuristic world. In a shock announcement, Robert Downey Jr. was revealed as Dr. Doom for the next Avengers films. This move has reignited global interest in the franchise. The Russo brothers return for Avengers Doomsday, replacing Kang Dynasty with a focus on the MCU's greatest villain. Following that, Avengers Secret Wars is rumored to reboot the franchise, finally uniting the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Avengers into one single timeline. The mutant era is the MCU's second peak. Integration has already begun, and the X-Men remain Marvel's ultimate trump card. The verdict? Quality over quantity. Disney is shifting focus toward polished, street-level stories like Daredevil and Spider-Man. The MCU remains the most successful franchise in history, having redefined the modern blockbuster. Even if it never tops the highs of Endgame, its footprint on Hollywood is permanent. Whatever it takes, the MCU will continue to evolve, adapt, and assemble. If you enjoyed this breakdown, support the channel by hitting like and subscribing. Marvel Studios will return, and so will we. Thanks for watching.